Hello, my name is Ngozi Okonkwo. I am a senior majoring in mechanical engineering technology here at City Tech. I am the previous SGA president. I'm a peer mentor with the first year programs. I'm a peer advisor with the Perkins Peer Advisement Program, a lot of things. But today is not about me. I have a very special guest here today, and I'll allow her to introduce herself.
Thank you, Ngozi. And she is wonderful. She's a star, and you're going to hear more about her as she gives some examples of her personal experience here at City Tech. I'm Dean Shields, Dean of the School of Technology and Design here at City Tech, and Ngozi is one of my students. She's in mechanical engineering. So today, what are we talking about today?
Well, today we're going to talk about understanding your degree requirements. So we're going to essentially do that in 3 different sections. First, we're going to talk about knowing your catalog year and the degree requirements for that specific catalog year. And then we're going to talk about how to log into DegreeWorks and use DegreeWorks to help you understand more about your degree. And then we're going to talk about creating the list of the remaining classes that you have to take left, including writing intensive classes, liberal arts classes, as well as your major specific classes. College catalog is my holy grail here at City Tech. And registering for classes, planning out my semesters at City Tech, I love using the college catalog. So let's talk a little bit more about that. What exactly is the college catalog?
Sure. So the college catalog is basically, like you said, your holy grail or your Bible. It's the guideline by which you plan your programs and your courses while you're here at City Tech. And one thing to note about it specifically is that it is based on the academic year by which you come into the college. It's important to know that there are certain things that about a degree, such as the overall requirements. So say in an associate degree, you'll have, say, 60 credits as your overall target credits, or in a bachelor's degree, it may be 120. Some programs have more, such as our clinical programs. Another important thing that happens as part of the overall requirements are for general education. We're all familiar with understanding our major courses because that's what we're here for, to learn about our career path. But in terms of general education, an associate's degree would have 20 or 30 credits, and a bachelor's degree will have either 42 or 60 credits. One of our requirements are called the writing intensive courses. So if you're in an associate degree program, you have to satisfy at least 2. If you're in a bachelor's degree, you have to have at least 4. So that's important to know. And we'll talk a little bit later about how it might change, and you want to be aware of that.
Earlier in the semester, I was just going through my DegreeWorks just to make sure everything is okay, which I highly recommend to look at your DegreeWorks frequently to make sure you know that everything is okay. So as I was doing this, I realized that in my senior year, I had 0 out of 4 of my writing intensive classes completed. And I was like, wait a second, I know this is not right. And so being able to look at that alerted the red flags, and I was able to contact the necessary contacts.
And it's really important that you said that you looked at your DegreeWorks frequently. So that way, every time something new comes along, or every time you progress in each semester, you want to make sure that everything is populating the DegreeWorks properly. And there's certain things that we call categories of classes. So it's not only major courses, but we also have requirements such as CUNY Pathways, or say a course like an interdisciplinary course, which you want to make sure you satisfy. But the best way to do that is to look at DegreeWorks frequently, which is like you did. And you do that so that way you don't put yourself in a situation, say last semester, senior year, and realize you haven't taken something that you need to take. So actually with that, why don't we talk a little bit about DegreeWorks and what are some of the key features that you'll find as part of this program. So first, when you look at DegreeWorks, it's a program that we use to match up the specific classes you took with your degree requirements. So it's important to know how to read it. In particular, look for the catalog year. Then, look to see what degree you're part of. Next, what are the overall requirements that you need to meet in order to graduate? Have you found the category lists? And there are specific courses that you must meet as part of your major. We can also have a series of elective credits. Now, one particular thing that you'll find is it's a little unique to our institution is the double duty feature. And the reason why we have this is it allows you to have more flexibility in how you choose your classes. So for example, there is a course called the History of Architecture, and it satisfies not only a major requirement for civil engineering and construction management students, but it also satisfies a general education requirement. However, just because it checks 2 boxes doesn't mean that you get 6 credits. You still only get 3 credits. But that allows you to choose any 3 credits that you would like to find something that you're interested in or something that will help you in your career.
What is your catalog year? Is it what you expected? If not, there are 3 ways in which it might have changed.
So here are 3 particular examples where your catalog year may change or you may want it to change. And the reason why is that our curriculum is constantly evolving. We're workforce-oriented programs always want to address what is the latest technology and what's the latest skills. So for example, if you take a semester or more off, when you return to us, you will return with the new catalog year. Now this may be very beneficial if you've taken a substantial amount of time off and you want it to change, or if you're very near to completing your degree, say you're in your last semester, you might want to revert back to the original catalog year because there may not have been much change. Now, for example, number 2, if you want to change your catalog year, say you're with us and you've joined us, and maybe some changes have been made to the curriculum that you think you will benefit from, you can also petition to change that catalog year. And then lastly, this will happen automatically. If you've completed your associate's degree here with us, and then you've moved to a bachelor's degree, the catalog year will be reflected when you join us for the bachelor's degree.
So going back to looking at your degree works, what overall requirements remain for you? What categories do you still need to choose a class in? Counts and areas, including the overall credit counts, calculate using classes you are currently taking or have already registered for in the next semester. If you drop or withdraw from a course, make sure to look again at your remaining degree requirements to see how they have changed. Elective credits allowed is a flexible category that only shows up if you have open elective credits and you register for a class that doesn't fit any other listed degree requirements category. If you appear to have everything checked off but are still short of overall credits for the degree, register for any class and the elective credits section will appear at the bottom of your degree audit. Well, I hope now you know where to find your catalog and degree requirements, as well as how to log into DegreeWorks and use it to plan the rest of your time here at City Tech. Thank you for watching. I hope this was helpful.